VCR, what's your favorite scary movie?
Doing my best Drew Barrymore.
Oh, see, I was trying to smize. I've been watching a lot of America's Got Bottle.
She's been watching another sort of horror, another kind of horror.
I would get eliminated. That was terrible.
We like the horror.
We like that.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, ghouls and goblins, to Uncensored Horror Live. We're doing it live again. We're going to do it feelings, and they're live.
We're going to do it live.
Live.
We're going to do it
live. Live. And I think for the first time in maybe ever, but in a long time, we have not discussed our feelings.
We avoided each other like the plague.
We just happened to just not discuss, and it will be interesting to see what happens unfold, because this, I think, is going to be a very big conversation because the news keeps rolling out. Obviously, if you have been under a rock, you may not know that there has been a movie that was released last week that is doing crazy things at the box office and even crazier things to the fan base. First of all, I would like to thank everyone who checked out my conversation with Ashley Cullen about her book, Your Favorite Scary Movie, which ties directly into what we're talking about today, because, ladies and gentlemen, strap in, shut the door, don't answer the phone. It's time for us to discuss Scream 7.
I'm ready.
Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Let that just sink in, though. Scream
7.
Who would have thunk it? Like back in the day, we weren't thinking about 7 sequels down the line. We were just thinking about making it through the first movie and vice versa. And now we are well and truly in the midst of a franchise that is still delivering. That's all I can really say at the moment. Definitely still delivering on a massive scale. Obviously, today's review is going to be full of spoilers. If you've managed to avoid spoilers up until this moment, congratulations, because everyone and their dog is trying to spoil this film.
The protege tried to spoil this for me. The protege tried to spoil it. We were walking into the theater and the protege starts talking about it, and I said, nope. I was like, no.
I know. I managed to stay fairly unscathed, even after talking to Ashley. She gave some hints, but wasn't really elaborate on what to expect. But I managed to stay very spoiler free.
Me too. When I'm pretty blind. I needed to. This is probably the most blind I have ever gone into a horror movie on, because I was this hyped for it. Also, real quick, I want to say shout out to my mom. Happy birthday, Mom. She is the one who got me into all the scary movies. Love you, Mom. Happy birthday. Thank you for Scream.
Happy birthday. Wow. Okay. Well, should we dive in?
Let's dive right in.
Dive in. All right. So spoiler alert. If you don't want to know what's happening, come back to us after you've seen the movie. It started off with good vibes when we had that Sydney theme playing. I was like, oh, okay, we're going for it. We are hitting nostalgia hard. Even before we have an image on the screen, we're hitting nostalgia hard with familiar music, which obviously always puts us in the right frame of mind with the Marco Beltrami score. Still available, still pumping through. And we arrive in a very, very isolated and dark Woodsboro at the Marker House, the Marker Murder House, as it is now dubbed, the Stab Murder House, to become a Airbnb dedicated to the murders of Ghostface, which, life imitating art, we are meta straight off the bat as well.
I was going to say, it's just so beautiful right from the start. Like your roots start in the meta universe and you're just coming right back to it. It's humbling. It's nostalgic. It's comfortable. It's also very timely.
but even more so with the conversation that's happening in the car that is kind of revealed as they pull up. Look, I'm gonna full disclosure. I actually saw this movie twice on opening day.
It's true. He texted me about it.
Twice on opening day, just coincidentally, and I'm glad I did, because I think one viewing leaves you a little bit possibly cold to what you actually received. The conversation between our couple in the car is a conversation that has been and is still happening. Scott and Madison are discussing Stu Marker being spotted at a sorority party. Oh, for fraternity and sorority party. Mixer, remember? It was a joint mixer. Way back in 96, I believe. So we are already metaing upon the meta. We are addressing the fan base directly and their obsession with the conspiracy theories surrounding this franchise. And 7 films in, there are a lot, and this film is dominated by one. So obviously, we get the clue of, or the big clue drop about, which we got in Scream 6 as well. Stu surviving the TV to the head and possibly still being alive. It's been what this film has been driven on since I can't remember when.
And listen, I'm not usually one to give into the conspiracy theories in movies or in real life, but I am fully on the Stu Macher is still alive train. Just throwing it out there.
Well, we'll talk more about it. What did you think about this first? Well, the opening kill. This is the opening kill. What did you think? I picked it from I remember when we first watched this trailer, and I said to you, "That's the opening kill. Don't get distracted."
Yeah. No, I remember you saying that. Let's rate it out of 5. I'm gonna give it a 2.5. I feel like it could have been better. I am okay. I
actually thought it was up there.
I didn't love it. I feel like I'm spoiled. I am spoiled by Drew Barrymore. I'm spoiled by Kristen Bell and Sookie. I can't remember her real name. What's Sookie's real name?
Anna Paquin.
Thank you. Spoiled by really great openings like that. And here's the thing. My friend picked it out right away. He goes, "Ooh, that's the girl from." He said a TV show, and I can't remember what the TV show.
Man, she's in, I believe.
Thank you. Again, so he knew who she was, but I didn't. So we're used to these openers being people we know. But maybe that's too obvious, because if you know the person right away, you're going to go, "Ooh, they're going to die right away." Even though if you're a Scream fan, you know they're going to die right away.
Yeah, I wasn't looking for a name or anything like that. I was looking for something that was going to set us a little bit apart. And I think even from this opening, there is a sense of difference. I don't love the opening of Scream 4. I think it's stupid.
Oh, I thought it was fun.
I don't like the meta upon meta upon meta. Like, I don't like it when this franchise leans too heavily into comedy. That's just my opinion. I like satire. I don't like out and out slapstick comedy in my slashers.
Hey,
so, Vera, what are you doing? Vera, this is not the movie for you, but we appreciate you dropping past.
Baby, it's about to get scary.
I liked the cat and mouse nature of what we got. I don't care. I'm a sucker for a killer appearing from the shadows and disappearing into the shadows. Sign me up every time. The Ghostface mask actually looks really menacing when you use it in the right way. Bye, Vera. It looks really menacing when you look in the right way, and when it appears behind them in shot and disappears when we're interacting with that motion censored Ghostface. I was like, oh, okay, this is where we're not going for shock and awe, and we're kind of trying to give us a little bit of vibes, a little bit of that. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the meta of Stab being referenced, and the meta of the house now being an Airbnb and all of the above. And even the phone call, the technicality of the phone call, I enjoyed because it called back to the reason why Casey Becker got axed. I think Casey would have died either way, let's be real.
Yeah,
but
no,
the
they
fact
were mad
that the horror knowledge, the horror knowledge is what kind of saved them initially until Ghostface really got there. I enjoyed that aspect of it. I think, as I said to you, we have to go back to a school of not giving away everything in trailers.
I mean,
because we saw this scene.
I enjoyed the chandelier.
We saw this scene.
Enjoyed the chandelier. I thought that was great.
It was cool, but we'd seen it. You know what I mean?
I think it still kicked. Like you knew it was coming, and it's still like when she landed, you're like, ooh! It was still, it still hit just the way it needed to. Didn't see the second part of it coming out.
Yeah, what impact do you think it has on now? I think we can look at it, this movie, we can look at it franchise-wide, that they are destroying active locations that are so integral to this movie, to this franchise. The market house is now gone. I'm going to burn it all down. And it's gone.
That's anger. That is resentment. That is bitterness. That's what that says to me. That's finality right there. Like,
right.
You can't go back to that. You can rebuild, but it's not the same. It doesn't hold the same kind of meaning, does it?
And is that meta commentary?
Perhaps.
I feel like
it's getting real
deep. That's a bigger conversation to have later on, because as we go through the movie, the second watch really kind of made me go, oh, okay, cool. Cut to Pine Grove, small town Indiana, where we find Sydney Prescott has built a brand new life for herself. God bless. She's married to a Mark, not the Mark that everyone assumed, but police officer Mark Evans. She runs a coffee house, and she looks after her 3 children, the oldest of which being her daughter, Tatum. What do we think of young Isabel May?
I like her. She's got a little spunk.
She's definitely got a chip on her shoulder, doesn't she? At the beginning of this film,
she's got mommy issues, even though mommy is around. But I don't know. I don't blame her for being angry, quite honestly.
I liked that we kind of went when Nev Campbell was talking about we're going to see the result of Sydney's trauma, as Jamie Lee would like us to say. I thought we might be headed to Halloween territory, or latest Halloween territory. I don't need to see isolated Sydney Prescott in a house with a gun and all that kind of stuff.
Well, we already saw that movie.
Yeah, to her credit, this is a more, I guess, mature, obviously, Sydney, but she's kind of resigned to the fact that this thing will find her no matter where she goes. And so she is going to have a life in spite of it, setting up in suburbia, owning a business, having not 1, but 3 children. It's all very... extended, I think.
Tatum gives me real young Sydney vibes, quite honestly.
Well, I think and the fact that she's named Tatum is a good mix between Sydney and Tatum, because the original Sydney wasn't as brash as this, as young Tatum, because she's just not happy. She feels like her mother is hiding her past from her, I guess with real cause, because when you do survive all of this trauma, do you want your children to know all of it until they're old enough to understand? I mean, Tatum's old enough to start understanding. I loved the callbacks of the jacket. I feel like the crawling through the window thing was a bit on the nose, considering this is the 3rd time we've seen it done now.
And the word for word kind of thing.
Yeah, the word for word. It's like, Oh, it's.
See, I didn't like that only because I thought, oh, you're making him the red herring already. Like you're going, it's him right off the bat.
And the amount of blue flannel in this movie, they know. Like this is the thing that they know what the fan base are expecting. So we're starting to flip it over. The amount of people wearing blue flannel in this movie, which is usually the sign of the killer, is a good. I think it's a good indication that they have been listening. I don't know how hard they've been listening to the audience, though, and how hard they will listen to the audience after the fact for this movie. But we shall see. I
wanted to touch back on the Sydney thing because, like you said, it's a good mix of Sydney and Tatum, but I see it a lot with the first Sydney in the original Scream. She's angry. She's
at her mother.
Angry at her mother. She's, very closed off and at arm's length. And just trying to keep her head down and get on with it. And I see that a lot with Tatum. Tatum's just trying to work through whatever kind of resentment she has towards her mother, kind of like Sydney was.
Well, this is the generational trauma, right?
Yep.
This is her response to Sydney's response to Maureen's murder.
But I also think
and
she's
this
just
is how it's manifested.
She's also just plain angry because Sydney made the point, like, you want to know about my past? It's on the internet. It's right there. Sydney wrote a freaking book about it. So she's telling everyone and their mother about her trauma, but not her own daughter. I can see why that would piss her off a little bit. I think I would get pretty angry too.
So we meet Tatum's posse of people. It's a body count.
Mm-hmm.
as I said back when I saw the size of the cars, I went, this is going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of bodies hitting the floor, left, right, and center. But everyone has to have a teen friend group in these movies because where will we draw our suspect pool from? What I appreciate is we don't have to wait super long.
Kind of jumps right in, doesn't it?
To get it happening. I like that Sydney. I just love the little asides are great. Fucking motherhood is one of them. Tick.
I was just like, yes.
See,
yes.
We're feeling this. We are us millennials, us elder millennials are with Sydney. She's our girl. We feel it.
Mm-hmm.
But that Ghostface call does not take long to come through. And again, we saw some of it in the trailer. I know that we've been expecting it for a long time, but the moment that we went to that FaceTime call, the reaction in the audience was crazy. So the first time I saw it was like in a gold class setting, so it was very small audience, separated chairs, whatever. In the nighttime, I saw it just in the regular theater, and audible gasps, shocked, reaction to seeing Stu.
I squealed with joy. And I know I wasn't the only one squealing about it, by the way. I love this reveal. I thought it was just so perfect. Oh, I'm not hiding.
Oh, yeah.
FaceTime.
Yeah, and it gave, like, the fact that it wasn't it was an out-and-out assault in daylight. It was not what we expect from this cat and mouse moment. It was like, okay, this is going down whether you're ready or not, Sydney. And luckily, Sydney is always ready because she's Sydney fucking Prescott. Of course, she has a gun.
Oh, you beat me to it. You beat me to it.
Sorry, got there first.
Okay, I forgive you. It's okay.
But the fact that he was outside of Tatum's school, knew where she was, knew that Sydney was nowhere nearby. It's predatory, it's scary, it's savage, and then we get McKenna Grace is not having a great run in horror movies, is she? She's not a final girl.
I said the same thing. I said that sucks for McKenna Grace. She's not having a good run with these. But I really like her, and I really liked her character. Reminds me of a young Tatum, perhaps.
That was the vibe I was definitely getting from her. She was the Tatum substitute.
She also had a very good death.
An interesting death too. I think we are, as we said, we are at the 7th installment here. We've seen people get stabbed a lot. We've seen people get stalked a lot. But taking the agency of escape away from her.
I loved that. It
was intense. I liked it. I definitely liked the whole spotlight. There's a lot of meta conversation about all this happening on a stage and then the police arriving because all of this is aimed around Sydney's daughter, and we're already getting the cast splitting up and the red herring whodunit moments of everyone being in the building but not being able to save her. The gutting was intense, I guess. I mean, and it may be a sign of things to come, obviously.
Ghostface did tell us he was going to gut us like a fish. Like a fucking fish. And
the one thing I will say, after all these years, 30 years, let's be real, 30 years, you think Sydney would be a better shot?
You know.
But emotion takes over.
You know. That's a really good point. You think after 30 years, she'd be like a
I'd be taking weekly lessons at the gun range, baby. Like I would be a dead eye shot. But
can we go back to Mark Evans real quick? Real quick.
Of course you can.
Real quick.
Yeah, well, we got to talk more about him. Go for it.
I have nothing against Joel McHale. I actually very much enjoy Joel McHale. I wanted Mark Kincaid so bad. So bad.
Yeah.
And I understand. I understand Thanksgiving 2 is coming, and there were wildfires in California, and he had other things to do. Whatever, McDreamy. I wanted you here. I needed you here. Love me. Choose me. You didn't choose me, McDreamy. This was the better role. Come on now. We demanded it and we didn't get it.
I know, but I think we've also got to look at what this movie is kind of saying, and maybe it's kind of why the reaction is the reaction is. The fan base don't always get what they want. And I think in this modern world, we are so used to having our opinions validate and shape everything that we see, everything that we ingest. People will change things. We choose American Idols. We choose the winners of reality shows. The audience has had a lot of control for a lot of the time. We flash back 30 years. We had no control over what was happening in that cinema for screen. This is just what we're given. And I think part of people's reaction is they want their pet fan theory and they want their thing to be real. That's what they want, and it's not acceptable if it's not the way it is. I mean, we've known for a long time that he wasn't returning. I don't feel like he's not. There's nothing wrong with the character. He's very beige, and I think Mark Kincaid's pretty beige anyway. No one's here to see Sydney's husband, really.
I know no one's here to see Sydney's husband, but act like you wouldn't have been thrilled to get Sydney. Fucking motherhood. Get into bed, and there's Mark Kincaid right there.
Yeah, I can give it. I can give it that she would maybe. Look, maybe they did. They never actually say that he's Tatum's father. She calls him dad.
Stop! They just blew my mind.
Well, she has a 17-year-old daughter, and then she has 2 very young children.
I mean, okay. To be fair,
that's all I'm saying.
To be fair, do we know how old the twins are exactly? Number one,
they look about 7, 8, I would assume.
Okay.
From the brief moment that we saw them on the FaceTime, which just happened. What a great way there with grandma. Cool. We won't have to murder children in this installment. Save that for later.
I don't know if I'd ever be able to forgive Kevin for that one, but we'll touch on that later.
This isn't. Let's be real. This is not a Kevin Williamson script, and this is part of the issue, perhaps.
Okay.
James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick. So,
okay.
Had Kevin maybe ran some fingers through it, it might have finessed some problems. But we're getting bogged down in the minutia, as we usually do in this show.
Getting back to my point. I'm sorry. I had a point. They're probably oopsie babies. I mean, the protege is 5 years older than the youngest.
Yeah. I have a question whether, that was my feeling, is that maybe that's not her dad and she thinks it's her dad, because let's face it, the Prescott women like their secrets.
They do like their secrets, and they are a little loosey-goosey in the bedroom.
They're Prescott women.
That is not shaming her.
She has some issues when it comes to intimacy. So to find a husband straight away, have a 17-year-old, and then wait and have another set of babies 10 years later. I don't know if that's a Sidney Prescott thing. We'll see, because we're going to be moving on.
Okay.
So we've got a gutted fairy. We've got a dead kid. We've got Sydney starting to kind of lose her mind a little bit that Stu Marker might be alive. I love that we went from one kill scene straight to another one. This in the house stuff was fucking brilliant. Loved every second of it. The fact that Ghostface was in the house already. All of the why did you turn off the light? I didn't. It was all good. All good in the hood. No complaints. I don't even have a complaint about the safe room. I don't have a complaint about any of what we just see in this next segment. I think it is a different Scream, yes, but it is still tension-filled. It is the way I expect Sidney Prescott's family to react in moments of danger, that they have their codes, they know what to do, they're well-trained, and they're not going to fuck around when Ghostface...
Yeah, that is I'm sorry, that is very Halloween coded. Where's your go back?
But Sidney Prescott daughter would have a go bag. Let's be real.
Absolutely.
She's been, even in New York, she missed New York. It's the only thing that she missed. She knows when you got to get out when the getting's good, and she wants that for her daughter, because this is protective mummy mode Sydney. She doesn't want this to touch Tatum, but it's here now. And she's got to kind of force her through this. As much as she doesn't want to, it's happening. I thought the safe room wall scene was really cool. I liked it. I liked the fact that Joel McHale just kept on getting up and trying to kick Ghostface's ass. I like that Ghostface seems very happy to be a little bit more cat and mouse in person. It's not in the shadows. This is happening to her in her house. No control over it. I really liked it.
My only complaint about that scene, and this is just so nitpicky, and just, I'm sure I'm not the only one that thought that, why aren't you just kind of squatting down? Like, he's stabbing at you, just squat and go.
Yeah. Well, we are in, there's not a lot of room to squat either in that wall cavity. So I understand you can't probably bend your knees. And Sydney got stabbed through the arm. It was a bit dramatic. But the moment that shocked me, and the moment that got a huge cheer in the cinemas, was when Ghostface gets taken out by an SUV driven by Gale Weathers.
I gotta admit,
save the day.
I wasn't sure who it was at first. Like when the car hit, I'm like, who
has that timing? Who has that timing? It's Gale. And Gale looking great with her sexy apprentices in tow. Mindy and Chad Meeks Martin.
So happy to see them.
Mm-hmm. An interesting team up, having them work with Gale. I kind of like it. I'm about it.
I could see
Mindy's aspirations and being... I love her getting caught by Gale. It didn't say it had to be Gale. Oh, fuck.
It was good.
The one person you don't double cross is Gale Weathers, because she will rip your throats out, like she said. And we have a Ghostface reveal, within 30 minutes of the movie opening?
Yes.
Nobody knows this guy. He's a random dude that showed up at Sydney's coffee shop that gave her the ick.
We did get a quick
again,
didn't we? Carl.
Carl
with a K. Carl.
Yeah. An escapee from a nearby mental institution. Oh dear.
That just feels too easy, doesn't it? Just a little bit.
Look, we are in a very interesting area for this franchise because we are 7 films in. Show me a franchise that has 7 quality entries that doesn't have a falter point or a point of departation and demarcation like we have seen in 5 and 6. The story had to twist. Probably 6 more so than ever because 4 and 5 are essentially the same film.
Mm-hmm.
That is soft reboots.
That is a fair. Oh, what's the word I want right there? Just keep going.
6 was the point. Yeah, 6 was the point of difference, and I think again with 7 we are at this jumping off point where we have to go. We, the audience, and they, the makers of this film, and especially with a franchise in mind, have to decide where we go to next. You can't keep repeating this, and I think you can't keep repeating the tropes because the tropes become problematic 7 films in, as we will discuss at the end of this movie. I don't mind the fact that the mystery is us trying to reveal what's going on with Stu. Is Stu alive? Gail's reaction is priceless. Go, Stu Mocker? Dead Stu Mocker? But the pieces of the puzzle fitting in to suggest that he is alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the body was never allegedly received at the morgue. Paperwork's gone missing. There are signs to indicate there is a red herring indicating that Stu may not be where we think he is, buried in the ground in Woodsboro. And I don't mind that. It gives us something bigger. It gives us a bigger scope than just going, who wants to kill Sydney and why this time? Because I think it needs to separate at this point. And we need to do a big 180/detour. Mindy is, of course, being Mindy, and she really is the Randy.
She is her uncle
2.0.
She is her uncle.
Chad's along for the ride, and is good to look at. But she, even when told to give it a rest, and how wrong she always is, she's happy to lead the assault on the friend group and really pressures Tatum, who now wants to be a part of the action because she's been forced into it while Sydney's still trying to protect her. She's trying to take matters into her own hands and figure and do the mystery. She's giving us a little bit of first film Gale Weathers action. So they organize their little get-together of the usual suspects while Sydney and Gale head off to Willowbrook to see what they can find out about this mysterious Carl. Poor Ethan Embry.
The years have not been kind to poor Ethan.
What they did to... That's not his hairline, though. I think they shaved his head.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, he doesn't look like that. That's
Please
not
hold.
his hairline.
I mean...
because I was like, oh...
I saw him. It's like, ooh, I know you. I don't know.
Sweetheart Ethan Embry.
I don't know. The Google pictures I'm seeing, that looks like a pretty hairline.
Now,
I think that's pretty legit.
Willowbrook.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And the fact that we have a John Doe who just happened to wash up. He'd been in California and he washed up in Willowbrook at the end of the late 90s. there are signs that, again, they want us to think that Stu is alive, and he literally he left the asylum 2 weeks ago before all this started happening. The plan comes to fruition. They were very close, etc., etc. I have no problem with it.
No,
I still have no problem with the conceit of this, and also I have no issue with the AI of it, because a lot of people are commenting on how would they know what Stu Marker's voice sounds like? How would they get a sample of Stu's voice? I mean, if you're going to get hung up on the AI, which is confusing people every day, when you're going to give us the conceit of these people like Dewey, like Chad, surviving hundreds of stab wounds to come back in the movie after, we're going to give the conceit of these Scream 3 voice changer that many decades, or not decades, but many moons before that technology would even be possible. I can give this movie the conceit of the AI.
You have to suspend disbelief for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is a horror movie. And if you can let go of reality for 2 hours and believe a killer clown in a cornfield, just for example, then
these people are willing to bet on possessed dolls and stuff,
right?
You know,
right? Then you should believe that AI is smart enough and can probably do it. That is suspending disbelief for something that is very, very, very real.
And that's the point of cinema. Like, the point of cinema is suspension of disbelief. You go into a movie and you go on the ride that the movie wants to take you on, not the one that you want it to be.
I mean, we know this. We know that AI is very smart. We know that AI clones are very real looking. We get fooled by it every day on TikTok. Come on, people.
Do.
This is real time, baby. Let's just go with it.
So while we're doing our Scooby Gang moment here of splitting up and investigating, I like that we didn't expect Mark to be ambushed at home. Oof. Again, a very effective Ghostface appearing and disappearing in the plastic sheeting.
I got it.
Directed, shot beautifully. Liked it. Happy. Mark joins the stab club.
He's a damn cop. He is a damn cop. You expect me to believe that man walked in with no backup, his gun not drawn. You expect me to believe that. I know I'm supposed to suspend disbelief for a minute. Okay, just
nobody said he was a good cop.
He seemed like a pretty good cop at the time, but okay, fine. I will suspend disbelief again for this. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
But again, we saw this in the trailer, and I expected that to be it for him. And we reveal later that obviously Mark doesn't. Would it have been cruel to kill Mark to Sydney?
No, it'd be part of the course, quite honestly.
But do you think now that we're at this place where people love Sydney Prescott so much that the tangential relationships that she has keep people pretty safe? I mean, they weren't going to kill her daughter.
That
didn't kill her husband.
That would have been
cruel. And I'm glad we didn't even entertain the notion that Tatum could be Ghostface, which would probably would have walked out. I would have probably walked out at that.
No, you know what?
Like, fuck this movie.
Another one that I read that I thought was very tacky was Gail being Ghostface.
Well, I'm gonna get to it. So let's talk. We'll keep talking.
Okay.
But we'll mention Gail because Gail finally
gets that interview.
Gets what she's been waiting for 30 years for. Courtney has some great moments in this movie, and she's so good at Gail.
I also want to throw out there that I love Mark Consuelos. I will watch him in everything.
I don't know that we needed him though. Right?
He wasn't needed, but he didn't take away from the film.
But he was just a character that was there for he wasn't a red herring. He wasn't a victim.
I still liked him. I liked him. I liked his character.
I would have given him something better to do.
I think he could have been utilized much better, but I didn't hate him there. I think it kind of reminded Gail of what she was.
I'll talk about it when we get to it because it's happening.
Okay.
Because we're all in the moment where, you know, the kids are at the tavern with Chad and Mindy talking about the possibility of a deep fake, and everyone's banking the fact that this isn't Stu. Sydney and Gail do their chat, and of course Gail does Gail and oversteps the bounds and really kind of hurts Sydney's feelings when she's trying to protect her kids. And we get the Ghostface call, and Sydney leaves. This is, I think, a missed opportunity, and it could have given Mark Consuelo something, because obviously we have more than one killer. Why would you not have an attack at the TV station as well, which would explain why Gail didn't follow Sydney straight away?
That would have been good. But, you know, for all we know, there was an attack and they cut it from the film.
But this is part of my thing. I think that the script is really what lets this movie down. The direction is great. I love what Kevin did with the direction. I think the script needed another few passes, and I think it definitely needed Kevin.
Yes,
because
it needed the Kevin.
That's a huge plot. That's a huge plot hole, because everyone's going, "Why didn't you just follow Sydney?" Like Sydney ran, of course. If Gail Weathers of all people would know that Sydney's going after her daughter, where's the story going to be? It's not going to be in the empty TV station. It's going to be with Sydney Prescott. Mindy and Chad aren't with her. Something's going down. Gail would not have just stood there and done nothing. And I think had we had an attack in the TV station that echoed what happened in Scream 2 in the recording booth, we could have had something brilliant. That would have been amazing. Would have given Courtney a little bit something more to do, because we don't get Ghostface interactions with her.
Yeah, that was odd, wasn't it?
Right after last time, and I get that we're supposed to go, oh my god, we're seeing the effects of what happened in New York on Gail, like very nearly dying and having the nerve damage, and seeing a weakened Gail Weathers, I guess, despite the front, because she lets us in about her feelings about Dewey and how she's just surviving day to day. I think we needed a little bit of guts from Gail.
This is my prediction. I think Gail is on the chopping block for 8.
Well, we can discuss 8 in a minute, because we're kind of going right through the attack on the tavern. Good, no complaints about the attack on the tavern. Again, some a little bit on the nose with everyone leaving, but then Chad and Mindy calling it out. I did like that. Meta, tick tick, we're done. What did we think? The thing that everyone's talking about is the My Bloody Valentine CGI beer tap moment.
I was just gonna say, I really kind of liked that beer tap kill. I thought that was pretty good.
But too fake?
Nah. Listen,
I didn't mind it. It got a huge reaction from people in the cinemas, and again, we are in a different space 30 years later. What terrified people, what squirms people, what makes people feel uncomfortable is very different.
Here's the thing now. If it were like some elevated horror movie, I'd say that was tacky, unnecessary, and very, very fake. But we're in a Scream movie. We understand that it's making fun of itself in some points. It's meta. It's supposed to like take the piss.
Right.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was still scary.
It was a little Final Destination-y, wasn't it, though?
Listen, if I'm going to go out, baby, I want to go out with my beer, okay? Let's just do it that way.
But how would occupational health and safety allow that sharp beer tap to be behind a bar where people could slip?
Listen.
That's my suspension of disbelief ends at litigiousness.
Stranger things have happened, I suppose. I mean, how do you feel driving behind those log trucks still?
Some days some days I welcome it.
Some days it's like, come for me, baby. I'm ready. Just do it. And then some days I just get in the other lane and keep moving.
And we think that Sydney's right. You know, we think Sydney's right for a paranoia about Ben, Tatum's boyfriend, when we find out that he has been trying to create Stu Marker deep fakes of his own.
Didn't love that. It just
I did love that she kicked the shit out of him with his laptop. You know what I mean? Oh, look, Stu Marker has entered the chat. People are putting their hopes too high for a slasher film. It's very cringe. It isn't perfect slasher movie. It was just good reveals. But the movie. We're going to talk more about it, Justin. So stay with us. I think you're on the same page I am.
All right.
But I did appreciate that Tatum's not a fucking moron and managed to kick the shit out of him with his own laptop.
She
cracked his head open like a cantaloupe. It's like, oh, bye, girl.
It's too.
Yep, sorry, keep going.
It's too red herring. Like it is way too. Look at him.
I didn't hate what it led to. I really liked this chase scene around the small town. It gave us.
It was good.
Something we haven't had. We've had so many callbacks. We even had the red right hand, town shutting down, curfew callback. There are so many of these in this movie. But it kind of was like Scream meets the Helen Shivers scene in No Not last summer.
I said the same thing.
You know,
I said the same thing.
In the small town. Like, I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought she was great in it. She kept going, to her credit. She's not an idiot. She ran to the business.
If we're going to pass the torch to anyone, I am happy to pass it to her. I am. I like her.
Over Emma Roberts, 100%.
Oh, yeah. No, Emma Roberts would have been so unsatisfying. And I say that as someone who really enjoyed Jill Roberts, okay? Or Jill, whatever her name was.
Jill Roberts, yeah, you're right.
Oh, okay, I was right. Look at me. I enjoyed her. I enjoy a little unhingedness, if you know
She was good for what she was. I can't see the franchise surviving with her as the focus and she be the killer. But we'll talk about that in a little bit when we get to the end of this movie, because there's lots to talk about at the end.
Yes.
I love this chase scene. I love silhouettes on. I'm a sucker for old school filmmaking. I like a silhouette. I like a disappearing and reappearing killer mask. I love all that stuff because we've seen it before. It's referential of the genre and it works. I love that she was caught out because her mom doesn't know when to not call her. It's like every criticism that Gen Z have of millennial parents. It's like, Mom, not now. And why are you calling and not texting?
Yeah, this could have been a text.
This could have been a text message, you bitch. But it was all good. And there are these moments in this film where your stomach just drops, which I kind of relate back, We're going to talk about that, Justin. We're going to get there. That relates back to that original moments of I want to know who I'm looking at and all of that kind of stuff. Her getting away and hearing the tap on the window was like a oh fuck moment. And I love an oh fuck moment, especially in a Scream film.
I do love an oh fuck moment.
These killers did not let up. They took a licking and kept on kicking, which I appreciate. Again, we saw this scene in the trailer, probably too much of it. So the tension there was kind of not super high. It was like I enjoyed watching it, but I wasn't questioning whether Tatum would make it out of that room without shooting Ghostface. I did like the situation it put Sydney in of being so close, but not close enough to help. And it's kind of really forcing Tatum to step into that hero, survivor role. I like that. I think it works for this kind of transitionary moment in the franchise.
How is Tatum a better shot than her mother?
I know, and can handle the recoil on a gun and all of that kind of stuff. But again, suspension of disbelief.
But then again, those who cannot do
teach.
And that is the moment right there.
And another oh shit moment when there was two ghost faces. And rushing towards her, I was like, oh shit, like that was an oh shit moment. When I went with my best friend, she reacted so well, and I think that's what I really learned from this, is that this movie, especially this franchise, I think thrives on the cinema going experience and not watching it alone. because you can have a singular experience, but having seen all of these films in a cinema, it's a more enjoyable experience when there is a reaction around you. And that's what I found on my second watch. So we get our showdown. Sydney's called back home to save her daughter. And now again, we get the Ghostface reveals. I was so happy to see Mrs. Loomis. I was so happy to see Laurie.
I really enjoyed that callback all around the house with all the tablets and all that. That was great. That was fun. It's a little
whoever you are. I was like, I love that. And she this is the thing. She's not stupid. She knows it's not these people. She knows that it's someone fucking with her at this point. It's not Stu Marker. Somebody's trying to re-traumatize her and go, look at what you did. The one thing that was an issue for me, actually it's two things, including Dewey, I don't get. Dewey should have been saved for Gale. There's not really a lot of resonance there. I get that Sydney wasn't there to save him, but the whole emotional core of that death scene was the fact that Gale was calling Dewey when he died.
Yeah.
And why he died. That should have been saved for Gale. It could have been done at the news station. She could have got a phone call from Dewey.
Oh. See, you know what? We have all these good ideas. They never call us, Steve. They never call us.
Right. And this is the thing. I'm happy for you to take them, but make it make sense because, again, as we've said, or as I've said, with all of these people that take over movie franchises and say they are a fan, then think like a fan would think. Don't try and shock and awe. What would make sense for the characters in this journey, and that would make sense for Gale.
You know what?
Give her her moment. Give her her moment of survive, and that would give her pathos for surviving this film. She's admitted to Sydney that that's her weakness, that attack and losing Dewey, the attack in New York has made her a weaker version of herself, whether she's going to fully admit it or not. If she can overcome that in a scene in this movie, you have progression.
Who would you have put in his place? That's the question. I have some thoughts.
Emma Roberts should have been there. I don't know what, especially when Roman says it's all about family, they could have even done it with AI. They didn't necessarily need Emma. They should have, because she's the only, Jill Roberts should be there. It's the only killer that is related to Sidney Prescott that doesn't feature in this movie. It's a big glaring misfire. I think I wouldn't have included Dewey. As I said, I would have saved him for something else. And even if it was a 2-line thing of an AI Emma Roberts, then that's the Ghostfaces that Sydney's directly related to, responsible for killing, etc., etc.
And
it's not a hard fix.
I know we've already seen him, but you still could have thrown Billy Loomis in there. He had his mom in there.
Right, and Billy should have been in there, but I think for where we're at, and the comment of this movie is that it wasn't just Billy. And
right.
We've dealt with the Billy at all with Sam. Sam's Billy thing. And I get that Sydney, it'll always be Billy and Stu that killed her, but the focus was, even in the last movie, there's a comment, like a little conversation between Mindy and Kirby about Stu being there, and he was half of the killing duo. He killed people. He was part of the reason why this happened. So I get why Billy wasn't there. Billy and I think they both should have been there.
A little bummed out that we didn't get Kirby in this too, but she wouldn't have fit.
Well,
she wouldn't have fit in there.
More to come.
Oh, I get it.
That's too much. That's too much.
Right. Yeah. I know there's such thing as too much for a good thing.
We've got to talk about it.
Let's talk about it. The killer.
This is where this movie falls apart.
I just want to state for the record. For the record, I am on record right now. I had her pegged the second she was
of course.
introduced.
And you know what? We haven't even mentioned Anna Camp in this review. That's how non-important her character was to this plot. We see that she's supposed to be Sydney's friend from one scene. She's in one other scene, and then she fucking ghosts for the entire. Like, could you pick a more obvious person?
Ghostface? Yes.
She was the fact that it's obvious doesn't annoy me, because I picked a lot of these ghost faces because they were obvious. It's the motive that makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, that's a real weird motive. Sense. Real weird motive.
There are so many. I have thought about probably 4 or 5 different ways that this could have made more sense. And there is the original, as we talked about it off camera before. There is the I thought that maybe we were going back to the original Cult of Ghostface Scream 3 idea, that people were picking up the mantle. But this woman liked the book that Sydney wrote and then was sad she went away, so she decided to kill her own fucking son.
To be fair, he was pretty annoying.
And Ethan Embry's there.
Yeah, I blew over Ethan Embry. I gotta be honest. I can't believe I missed that.
I mean, look, give her a motive. She has this abusive ex-husband. Why could that not have been Stu's nephew that died in the last movie?
You know
sorry, in Scream 5. Give us something that ties it back to, because this whole movie, the promo has been face your past, stand up to your past, come out of the past. She has nothing to do with the past. She has something to do with Scream 4. And if we're not going to reference Scream 4 in any other way, why make that the killer's motive?
I spent this whole movie thinking about it because I knew it was her. It's like, okay, she's the killer. What's her tie to this movie? What is her tie to Sydney? I thought about it. I could not place it. I had nothing.
The one thing I thought, because I read about it a while back, and this is kind of when I stopped reading spoilers because I didn't want to be spoiled. The rumor was that she was going in as Stu's sister. And the minute that I thought it might have been was when she came face to face with Gail, and she kind of gave her a little bit of a reaction like, oh, fuck, I've been caught. But that would have made sense, but it wouldn't have made sense because Sydney would know her on sight.
Right.
Gail would know her on sight.
And it would be the first mention of a sibling for Stu Macher.
Well, not really, because his nephew died in Scream 5.
But
and we did have this point. We had this point when we watched Scream 5. They didn't make a big enough deal about him being Stu Macher's nephew to really make it read. It's just like,
they fired the other 2 actors, so 5. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We need to get the end of this movie. So,
shit.
Random
that
killers
would have made more sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, now you got me thinking about it. Well, shit.
Random killers, okay? Random killers. Blah 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 blah.
Especially like when the killers are so personal, you know?
Right. Up until this point, they have been.
That's what I mean. Like, that's why it's shitty, because the killers are always so personal.
And it gave something to the rest of the movie. This takes away from it.
Yeah.
So, blah, blah, blah. Shitty motive. Kick-ass end scene. I think Sydney's at a point now where if you look at her the wrong way, she will just do horrible things to you. And that's justified. The amount she stabs that good woman in the leg, I'm like, good. I think we missed a huge spot with Tatum not folding her up into that garage door. I mean, it's her namesake. Close the garage door on her.
That would have been cool.
Come on. It's not rocket science, people. It's just knowing the franchise that you supposedly love. They kill Ethan Embry in a really non-event.
Same, Justin. Same.
And then they turn Anna Camp's face into mashed potato with their guns.
I love that they always give Sydney the best one-liners. Like,
I mean, come on.
No matter
past
what.
My prime. Fuck you. I was
It's
like,
so good.
That got claps. That got claps in the cinema
Because
when I was there.
it's so true. Everything she says just so relatable. I'm Sydney fucking Prescott.
Yeah.
Of course I have
Sydney
a gun.
is still.
He is
I'm Sydney
tough.
fucking Prescott's. I'm Sydney fucking Prescott's daughter. Tick. Okay, cool. And then, of course, yeah, past my prime. Fuck you. This
Love
little
that.
coda, I think, was very cute and nice and good for what we needed it to be. Mark is the new Dewey. There's a lot to probably be said about Chad Mindy being sidelined so easily, and they're I think they're warranted in the movie. I think as I said, we are missing our scene with Gail at the news station, and maybe a little bit more of them at the tavern actually being dispatched a little bit, because I didn't. Yeah, they just kind of slumped to the ground. I'm like, that's all the tick you've got after surviving Ghostface twice?
Especially you, Chad. Come on.
Yeah, you are a human pincushion at that point. I really liked the scene between Tatum and Sydney when she was explaining why she was named Tatum. That was quite touching, and I think a testament to why people love Neve Campbell in this role. In a lesser actress's hands, I think we could have really walked into some schmaltzy territory, given that Tatum's reaction to being named after her best friend and that was a victim. Oh, nice to know what you really think of me. But then Sydney going, she was my best friend. She was the last person I ever really trusted. And, listing all those wonderful qualities that Tatum had, it bridged the gap and definitely put us to where we needed to be. Even with the little tick of approval of Gail and their relationship kind of thawing out, which is nice. That I don't question that they're friends now, which they haven't been up until this point. I think Scream 5 was a turning point for Gail and Sydney, but they genuinely care about each other now, despite the Gail weathers it all, and Gail giving Mindy her blessing to take the reins. It was all very touching. So let's talk about the reaction to this movie.
Okay, let's do it.
People are pissed.
I mean, that was a shit reveal.
Yeah. And that was my thing. Now, we can't talk about the reaction to this movie without talking about what came before.
Okay.
And we have talked about it on the review, on the upcoming, we did a little teaser of what to expect when we got the trailer. We talked about the Melissa Barrera situation. I talked about it with Ashley. The cast are talking about it. Even Melissa Barrera recently gave an interview saying, I did my 2 movies. I'm fine. And at the end of the day, this boycott, I get the reasoning for being upset with it and freedom of speech and all that jazzaroo. It is not Kevin Williamson's fault. It is not Neve Campbell's fault. It is not Courtney Cox's fault. It's not Jasmine Savoy Brown's fault. It's no one's fault in the movie of what happened before this movie went into production. Right? So I expected that reaction from certain, because now there are different camps within this franchise now of who is your final girl and why is the other one horrible. It's like, okay, maybe you're not a fan of the series, then you're a fan of that final girl.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, I have an issue with the fact that Kevin Williamson did not do this script, because this is not, for his directorial debut in this franchise, it isn't up to the standard that I would think.
I'm kind of shocked he didn't get his hands on it, to be quite honest. I would have been all over that. Yeah, here's the thing. If I
would question whether it was part of the deal. I would question whether it was part of the deal, because I think the writers were on hand for the original script of Scream 7. Now, give me your opinion. Would you have, and we all know now what the intention was, despite Melissa Barrera saying she didn't know and she was only contracted for 2 films. and Skeet Ulrich kind of spilling the tea after all that firing went down. Is it a satisfactory ending for somebody who has gone through that much trauma, like Sam, even with her mental health issues, all of that loss, all of that drama, to then turn her into the killer? Would that have been a satisfying ending?
No,
because that's where we're heading.
I
And then
love
you
that.
you can't then justify, like with Emma Roberts, you can't then justify her not dying. So I don't think people would have been happy if they got that movie anyway.
No, I don't think so.
Are there downsides to this movie? Yes.
It's too on the nose, honestly.
Right? It's too on the nose.
It's more interesting to watch her fight it, to fight for her morality, to fight for her sanity.
Mm-hmm.
It's a much more compelling story, quite honestly, instead of, oh, I'm going to give in to the evil and I'm going to become the killer. What is your motive besides mental illness? And isn't that what we're fighting against? The stigma of
we're fighting against the
person.
The more that I think about this franchise and the symbolism of Ghostface is a literal manifestation of the ghost from the past coming back to haunt the people, like future generations. That is literally what Ghostface is doing. So that innate evil, whatever, is enough. I don't think she needed to become the killer. There could have been doubt about it. I think that would have made a really interesting movie, not making her a serial killer, but really making her be caught red-handed and making it look like people actually actively making it look like she was the killer, but not her being the killer.
Right.
That would be an interesting way to do it. And a comment, I guess, on media and all that kind of stuff, because we need a bigger meta commentary for this.
I liked the illusion of her, like when she in Scream 6, like when she is finishing off the Ghostface. I like that,
you can see it in there. You can see it
good.
there.
Like it feels good and it's easy for her. But
even with the last shot of her in the movie is her taking that mask, taking her father's mask. It was there. And I'm not saying that maybe in the future, and that's the good thing about having that Carpenter sister offshoot, that's something you can revisit. That's something you can definitely revisit. Maybe when she has her own child, or in a couple of years when blah, blah, blah. And then it's revealed that actually, I read another report that Jenna Ortega's character was actually supposed to die in Scream 7. So would that mean Melissa Barrera kills her own sister? Would that mean Sam kills her? Because that's not going to make people happy either.
No.
And I can't imagine, no matter how twisted a Ghostface she became, that she wouldn't have her own sister be killed.
No.
No.
But then again,
all right.
Michael Myers he killed his sister. No.
But the thing has been so much about protecting Tara.
Yeah,
that was the focus of those two movies. I wouldn't have made. I'm just trying to make the.
No, it wouldn't have.
No one would have been happy with that
saying.
either.
It would not have made sense.
So the revelation in the last couple of days, after we have been catfished into believing that Stu Marker was alive, and the drama of everyone hating this AI, Kevin Williamson has admitted that there was originally a post-credit scene in this movie revealing that Stu was alive. This is the quote. "We wanted to have our cake and eat it too. I wish I could take credit for that, but Guy Busick had the script. Had that in his script. He wrote all the AI stuff. The first time I read it, I was like, how is this going to work? How is he going to be alive? Furthermore, if it was AI, will part of the audience be disappointed that he's not real? We were playing that game, and I'd be lying if I said we didn't shoot it both ways. We shot a little coda at the end we had in our back pocket, but oddly enough, the decision was that the audience wanted him dead." That makes more sense. It's more real it's more real. If he's alive, that's a big stretch. We live in a world where we know we live in a world now where with fake AI we know that's possible. Kevin. That doesn't make sense to me.
Kevin. You like sauteed Chad's insides, and he's still standing. I think it's a little realistic to say maybe Stu survived that TV falling on him. Good Lord.
Here's my thing, which makes me now question how much control Kevin Williamson had. Because if all of this was in place before he was given a director title, like he's the director, yes, but this I can't help but think maybe this is studio mandated or something, because all I've seen coming up to this movie is how much people wanted Stu to be alive.
Mm-hmm.
Even Matthew Lillard wants Stu to be alive. Stu, and would that not be a huge point, a huge jumping off point at the end of all of this, right? And this is why the ending kind of feels hollow too. Imagine if halfway through the credits, Sydney gets another phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Stu. And it was just to see you soon or something like that. People would have lost their minds.
I would have lost my mind.
Even with the movie the way it was, if that was included, it would have made the movie a better movie.
Here's the thing. They left it open. All that stuff is allegedly gone. But bring Kirby in to look for him.
Yeah, so this is the conversation we have. How do we move forward from this point? Because the biggest thing is everyone's saying you can't have these tangential Sydney relationships anymore that make sense 30 years later.
I think you have to bring Stu back. I think 8 is bringing Stu back. I think it's killing Gale off.
There's got to be a new motive. There's got to be some progression, something. The suggestion that I kind of floated around is that we need to split these characters up, both geographically and in relationship-wise. The most obvious thing is to send Tatum to college, because that's what happens in the second installments of all these trilogies. The final girl goes to college. Why not have Tatum step away from all this, try and be incognito, not be Sydney Prescott's daughter, and then people are discovering her. Chad and Mindy are trying to make their own documentary / podcast and following her around, so they become her Gale, essentially. Gale runs up against them because she's now back in making a and she's the authority and that kind of thing. Sydney is trying to get her to not look into the past but still be, there's ways to make it happen. I think the way to do it, and we talked about it a while ago, is to have a rash of seemingly unrelated Ghostface murders happen across the country, maybe even just in the sites where the previous murders have happened, and involve Kirby and the FBI. That's how it all bleeds together. And there has to just be... There are so many victims. I think now, instead of going for Sydney, the future has to be in her reactions and the shortcomings of people. It can't be just Sydney. It has to be revenge for, I don't know, Jennifer Jolie. Imagine a whole heap of Jennifer Jolie fans are so pissed off that they band together to honor her memory and become Ghostface killers and go after Tatum, because it's an intergenerational thing. It has to the focus has to shift to Tatum a little bit. It can't be Sydney. Sydney can be involved.
Well, there's a real easy way to do that.
Yeah, but they're not going to kill. Sydney's not going to die at this point. I think that's, again, and Ashley Cullen said the same thing. It's just too cruel, especially when she has 2 younger children. I'm not saying that down the line, but Tatum needs to kind of establish herself, or the character of Tatum needs to establish herself away from Sydney.
The killing Dewey wasn't cruel. Okay, fine.
But it was... That's what I'm saying. It was cruel, but it progressed it forward. I don't think that killing the final girl of the franchise in the 8th movie is gonna do anything but piss people off more.
I don't know.
They're already pissed off about the Melissa Barrera situation. You have this movie has made $97 million, and it's based on nostalgia. Let's be real.
I'm just throwing it out there. There's no cleaner way to pass the torch than to snuff out the other one. That is
I would be happy if she died, but I think that maybe she needs to backseat it. It can't be a Sydney. It can't be a Sydney story. There has to be more. There has to be an expansion. I would prefer that at this point. I would prefer that they left that Coda in and Stu was alive.
Just saying.
So we will
let her
see,
relive
I
the
guess.
same trauma her own mother relived.
Well, that was my idea that maybe Sydney, even though they've had this moment, Tatum wants to know more than Sydney will tell her, so she goes looking for the past as opposed to waiting for her mother, and that puts them at odds because Sydney still has to protect her two younger daughters. Tatum's actively digging up the past. Maybe she's part of that. I think they tried to gently set up a Chad, Mindy, Tatum trio in this movie to test it and see how we go. Imagine if Tatum was leading the cause on a Sydney Prescott expose, going, all right, we're going to go and investigate every murder scene, who these victims were. Like, she would be digging up the past, it's sins of the mother.
Yeah, okay.
And then
I can get on board with that.
I don't know. There's got to be something different, is my thing. But that being said, how many impaled beer tap heads out of 5 are you giving Scream 7?
Oh, no, you're going first this time.
All right, I'm going to be controversial, and it's not actually as controversial as I thought it was going to be. I quite liked it. The only thing for me that fell over was the killer reveal at the end. I like the relationship building. I like the world expanding. I like the relationship between Sydney and Tatum. I liked Tatum stepping into everything. I've mentioned my issues, but my issues don't tarnish the film as a whole. It was an enjoyable ride. I will watch it again. It's still not the worst Scream movie.
No, it's not.
It's the second worst because of the killer reveal, but it's still not the worst Scream movie. And there is no matter how much people want to poo-poo it and review bomb and all that kind of stuff, it's made $97 million in its actually 100.1 million dollars as of today. There is no doubt that this franchise continues somehow. I will still see it. My best friend said the same thing. She said, I don't know why people are reacting so strongly. If you didn't like it, then don't see it again.
Right.
No one's forcing anyone to see these movies. And for all the people that are boycotting, etc., why has it had the highest opening in the franchise? People want to see this property, but it has to have the care put behind it. And I think the non-negotiable is definitely Kevin Williamson being part of the script.
But
so I'm going 4.
Are you ready for this?
1 point. Yeah, go for it.
I'm not far behind you. I'm not.
Stop.
I'm not. I'm a little behind you, but I'm not that far behind. Ready? Okay. 3.75. I'm not that far behind. I was
going to go 3.75, but that second viewing kind of pushed me up a bit more.
Okay. For pretty much the same reasons, quite honestly. I am a devoted Scream fan. I feel like I was insulted with that reveal. That was kind of like, I deserve better. I'm giving you my money. I deserve better. I really did enjoy the kills. I thought they were fun. I thought the movie was a good ride. I enjoyed myself. I love the nostalgia factors. And you can't tell me for 1 second that Matthew Lillard wasn't having the time of his life on that set, because you could see how much fun he was having.
He was brilliant. He was, one of the best parts of the movie.
He was in all of his sociopathic glory. Loved seeing Roman, loved seeing Debbie Salt. That was fun. I'll watch it again. Absolutely will watch it again. I don't think it deserves the hate that it's getting. But it's not a perfect film. As Justin said, there is no perfect slasher. But this is a fun ride to go on. I will give you my Scream rankings now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going 1, 2, 6, 7, 4, 5, 3.
Okay. I think I'm very similar. I am 1, 2, 6. 4, 5, 3. Yeah. Yeah. I had to think about it. I vacillate between 4 and 5. I'm like, they're essentially the same movie.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
that is good
essentially the same movie.
observation.
That makes it hard.
Yes.
But again and again, as I said, as we have said countless times, just because I'm putting Scream 3 at the bottom of the list doesn't make it a bad movie.
No.
It's a bad Scream movie, but even the worst Scream movie is better than some of the shit that we've seen in our lifetimes.
And listen, I'm coming to learn to appreciate it more the more times I watch it. But let's be honest here, it is still the weakest in the franchise.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I think it's safe to say that we will be back again.
Yes, yes.
We will be back again. Scream 8, even before the release, I read reports that it was greenlit, but
of course it is.
The sheer money, that the franchise is now $1 billion franchise because of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The sheer money dictates that there will be a sequel, whether we want it or not.
Yeah, exactly.
I want it. I'm interested in seeing what it is. I wouldn't, there just definitely has to be a Kevin Williamson care factor put into it.
Yes.
I really wouldn't even mind Kevin directing again, but I just need a bit more of a care factor put in, especially. I think that they will never make the mistake of giving us a shitty reveal again.
Oh, I have no doubt that Kevin will direct it again. I think he will make sure that he has a bigger part in the writing. He is credited as a writer, but you can tell that he didn't have his.
It's not his main. It's not his main idea. Yeah.
No, you can tell it's not his full fist in it. He cleaned it up, and you can tell where he cleaned it up, but he didn't get to do the cleanup job he probably wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, there were people are saying it was a $500,000 rewrite from the original to the next to this end version. I think a little bit more care, and it would have been perfect.
Yep.
But we have been talking a little bit about the layover effects of radio silence. We are going. Ta-da! Our reveal is that we're going hunting to celebrate the upcoming release of Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. We are going to be reviewing Ready or Not. So make sure you join us for more slasher super fun.
Sorry, I'm getting little Fuji's in there.
It's all good. It has been a fun ride, 7 installments in, and I'm sure the next 7 will be an interesting ride. But thank you for joining us today for our movie length episode. I mean, we had a lot to talk about. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you let us know what you feel about Scream 7. If you have a franchise you'd like us to tackle, or if you want to join us and have a little chat about a movie, let us know. We're always interested in new friends, because when your friend gets murdered every few years, you got to keep re-upping. Am I right?
You is right.
All right. Until we see Stu Marker again, this has been Uncensored Horror. See ya.
Bye.